The study of paleomagnetism gives us some incredibly important evidence for shifting continents and the theory of plate tectonics. Specifically, right now we're going to talk about apparent polar wandering paths. If you look at basalts that contain magnetite, which is pretty common, from anywhere across the African continent, they all point to the same location for the magnetic South Pole 420 million years ago. Tracing all these lines back, we say that they all tell us that magnetic South would have sat at the point that today corresponds to 50 degrees north and 11 degrees west. And here we have paleomagnetic data for both Africa and South America, and we can see that 420 million years ago, the magnetic South Pole, at least as far as Africa was concerned, was indeed pointed to this location. So we can plot all of these points on our map to find the apparent polar wandering path for Africa. So we'll mark the first point on our map as A420, A for Africa, and 420 as in millions of years ago. Then we'll plot the magnetic South Pole where it was 300 million years ago. Label it A300. And we'll keep plotting and labeling these points until we have all the data plotted. At this point, we can connect all of the data points, and we now have an official apparent polar wandering path for Africa over a period of over 300 million years of geologic time. Now, to see how this helps to prove the theory of plate tectonics, we're going to do the same thing for South America, but we need to do it on tracing paper. And we need to make sure to trace out the continent of South America on the tracing paper as well as we label these points. The reason for the tracing paper is really simple. We want to be able to move not only South America, but its apparent polar wandering path as well. Now we can see two very important features. Not only do the shapes of these continents fit together, but so too do their apparent polar wandering paths. So we have another piece of evidence for the former existence of Pangaea and a way that we can even start to observe the timeline of its formation and breakup by moving South America relative to Africa along their apparent polar wandering paths.